Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be continuing the series of our alternative future of the world. So this is the map we have that ended last time. We had Cuba and Nicaragua being kind of taken over by the US and Ukraine being taken over by Russia. Actually wait, no. These guys are actually meant to be white. So the first thing that's going to happen is going to be Russia here using Ukraine to invade Moldova. So this is actually quite quick. They go in and quickly take it over, and in the peace treaty it is all just given to Ukraine. Do I have to colour every single bit? Okay, and so now the red team is gonna get stronger. I'm not gonna properly do it for now. I'm just gonna do it later. Next thing that happens is a unification over here between the UAE and Oman. I believe they are good allies, and so it does kind of make sense that they just combine here. So now we've got one large country down here. Yeah. The next thing that's gonna happen is that a new alliance is going to be formed down here in the Arabian Peninsula. It will be let's make it the orange team. In this team will be Saudi Arabia and the new UAE and Oman country, and then also Bahrain and Qatar and Kuwait, and I believe Jordan as well, which is like just this area here is like an Arabian team. The next thing that's gonna happen is actually quite a large thing, and that is Egypt and Sudan declaring war on Ethiopia. With this, Somalia joins in on Sudan's side, and Djibouti and Eritrea also on Sudan's side. However, the Somaliland tries to kind of get liberated as well, and then a bad thing happens. Sudan also declares war on South Sudan. Like, at first this still looks like a winning for Egypt and Sudan. However, that activates quite a big alliance, which obviously is not good. And so, well, now that looks a little bit more fair. So first thing that happens is down here, the blue team quickly invade into Somalia, as this place is quite unstable, especially down, and they also invade down here in the south, creating large encirclements until Somalia is just completely destroyed and has to surrender. Next thing, up here, South Sudan cuts off this part of, Sudan cuts off this part of South Sudan, with Djibouti being taken over, and as well as Eritrea. Except this part is kind of held out by Sudanese forces. Down in the south as well, South Sudan and Egypt slowly go in, as even though the East African Federation is quite big and powerful, I don't think they're much of a match for Sudan and Egypt combined. And as they keep going, South Sudan eventually surrenders, and then more and more troops are sent into Ethiopia, also liberating Eritrea and Djibouti, which then gives them another front here and then after this, the East African Federation realizes that it's losing, so they kind of just like jump out, and everyone ends up deciding to stop the war because they don't want to have any more war. So, however, this will come at a cost, and so there is gonna be a peace treaty having to be built up. So, first of all, because technically Somalia did lose, Somaliland will gain independence from Somalia. Actually, that looks kind of bad. So it's going to be kind of up like this. And, what the hell was that? So kind of like this and that. So we have Somaliland being liberated and people finally recognizing them. And a majority of South Sudan is given over to Sudan, and because of this country being so unstable, it is then also partitioned between these East African countries from the East African Federation and slightly by Ethiopia. So So as you can see, this is now going to be all Sudanese. Uganda expands here, Kenya expands, and Ethiopia also expands here. However, then also there is so Djibouti takes kind of, or just not that much land because it's not a very strong country. Eritrea takes that, and Sudan takes this, and then like that. So now we've got a kind of very much weakened Ethiopia. That's not Eritrea. That's now Djibouti. We've got a bigger Djibouti, bigger Eritrea. And finally, Somaliland, Somalia is going to be split up between Kenya and Ethiopia. and so the rest of this is Ethiopian. And so finally Ethiopia actually gets a coast after quite a long time. So now we have this being the situation near the Horn of Africa, and Ethiopia here will be actually joining the East African Federation because of their recent loss, and a new alliance here in the Horn of around here should be there will be a new alliance called the Red Sea Alliance with Somaliland. Wait, no, Somaliland will also join in the East African Federation, and the Red Sea Alliance will be Egypt, Eritrea, Djibouti, and Sudan. And we're nearing the end of the video, and so the final thing that's gonna happen is a civil war breaks out in Myanmar, and so they kind of erupt in multiple different places. So, there's a team here in the south, and yeah, it's just not looking. There's a bunch of different teams, and some of them may or may not be funded by specific countries, but so the orange team kind of pushes in kind of quickly, and it seems to be quite powerful, kind of like it's being funded by quite a strong nation. The red team, which is just rebel groups, which are kind of in favor of someone else, and then this pink team here just takes over the rest of it and is kind of just like, oh, we want to be kind of peaceful and not completely destroyed by places, and so they kind of would join Thailand. And so the borders will be drawn up based on how much they got. Over here, up here, like this, over and up, undo that. And so this is gonna now, so this joins with Thailand. Remember, this might not be the most accurate thing in the world because I'm not the greatest mapper, and yeah, then this part is on its own. However, it becomes like a communist country and kind of an ally to China here, and while this part of Myanmar joins with India, and now we have Myanmar kind of erased from the map. And that's it for today's video. I will update the alliance map soon. Hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.